How's it going, everyone? This is Par 73 bringing you Myth World Cup 1999 action. Today we're going to check out some games between Glue the Moose and Tavarin. We are in the bottom bracket at the moment. These two teams facing off. This is the last of the winnowing round in DE4. We're gonna find out who the final team is of the top 12 between these two teams. We've already checked out Victus Semper versus the Men of Rohan. Dwarven Elite Strike Force versus Evil Incorporated, as well as Wolfpack versus Companions, and this is the last one for this winnowing round 12 game event. Now, I believe Tavern being the underdogs here. I have never really heard of these guys. I have heard of Glue the Moose, however. So, introducing the players, let's start with Tavarin. We have Matt Cawthon, Birdie, Mazrim Tame, Augustus, JTM on Parade, and King of Malkir. Looks like King of Malkir getting quite a bit of units for his team. And over for Glue the Moose, we have Kappa, I believe this is Kapparoo. He's captaining for Glue the Moo. Teaming up with him is Doraemon, Lucifer, Hero, Scarface, Quicksilver, and Red Phoenix. Kappa taking quite a bit of units for himself, 40%. And Red Phoenix, a heavy hitter for sure, he's got 26. I guess it's worthy of noting Birdie and Mazrim both have around 20%, a fifth of their team's units, and Matt is not taking any units for his team. We'll have to see how this game develops. This is the mesh cracks on the Cloud Spine. Game type is CTF. CTF games might be played a little differently when they're played in just public random games, whereas with the Myth World Cup there is a scoring system based on the game type, and this affects the meta of the game. Teams can earn points by having percentages of their units remaining, so expect some passive play up until the end, potentially. You'll notice the teams are loading up on defense, defending their battlements, as we got the mid battle getting ready to take place here. You get 1 point for every 10% of your team remaining. Both teams have 10 points right now at 100%. If you capture your opponent's flag, it's 15 points. If you and your opponents swap flags, it's 10 points. If a flag is contested based on unit trading points, a nice bounce by Scarface. I'll get into the scoring later. Let me talk about the action, as the contesting scoring does take quite a bit of time to explain. Augustus losing an archer there. Red Phoenix just going in with his archers. Looking to zero out his opponents. His volleys are enough to take out units. He has about 15 archers here. His lead archer goes down without dropping a flame, and RP has just forced the mid Tavern force into this choke point canyon. Hero gonna mop up some of the archers there with his arrows as Red Phoenix continues his push. Uh, so far, Cap and Lucifer, as well as Scarface, are supporting Red Phoenix here. You also got Hero, and Tavern's Western Force is now flanking to come and assist. It's King of Malkir with about a third of his team's units. We'll have to see how GTM reacts as Lucifer is sending his melee units home. Jay on Parade has a gold pack lingering around. He might go for a contest. With the amount of units on GTM's flag, it's clear to see that they would only be able to get a 2-point contest, which would be for a 0.00 to 0.00 to 0.49 ratio of unit trading points between the attacking and defending points. Units. It would result in 2 points as stated. Moving on from there would be 51.51 to 74, I believe. Or no, 0.50. It starts at 0.50 at the 5-point mark. Yeah, the 5-point mark. And then between 0.75 and 0.99 would net your team 8 points if your attacking ratio was in comparison to that defending ratio. And for 100% or more, your attack force overvalues the defending units in unit trading points. You would net 10 points. Pretty much the same for swapping flags. And we got a contest over here by looks like JTM's gold. That's gonna net Tavern 2 points. So right now they're actually leading. They have 80%. Gonna give them 8 points plus the 2 for the contest. That's 10 points right there, folks. And GTM has 9 points, so GTM will have to respond. And looks like Red Phoenix will be busy doing that. I believe he's split up his archers a bit here. Some of those archers going home to Doraemon. Looks like he's actually starting to get surrounded, but he does have the advantage of the high ground here. So we'll have to see what kind of action him and Scarface, as well as Cap, can put on. As Tavern looks to push this mid, I'm surprised they do not bypass it. As the West Battleman, as scouted, is completely empty for any sort of dwarves for Glue the Moose. You didn't see that as a common tactic throughout the majority of the other games played on this map, mesh, and game type. Scarface gonna take out some more of Augustus's archers there. And Scarface coming in, gonna take out Mazrim's dwarf. Mazrim just sitting there. There's not much they can do. With that dwarf down, it's gonna open the hole for Kappa to push that area. Matt's gonna have to make a decision with his "I'll kill you" dwarf, whether to come and defend or continue to press on and let the defense handle it. Birdie noticing the action on defense. He's overseeing what's going on. This is not good, he comments. And Kappa is going to rush the forces of Tavern here. Matt responding by moving his dwarf forward. Red Phoenix responding by dropping some flames. You're gonna see King of Malkir respond in the same fashion. His flames not in a position to actually deal any damage to the king, whereas Red Phoenix will lose one archer in that exchange. And we have a dwarf on gold battle. Hero, he's armed with nothing. Unfortunate. If he had a bottle or some pus there, he would have a pretty big advantage over that dwarf. And you'll see now, I heard the archers didn't dodge. It seems more like they just didn't spread out. It's Red Phoenix gonna lose an archer there as he's able to take one out himself. And another one goes down for Tavern. They're gonna lose a Stygian as well. GTM has some pretty good team cohesion here, and Tavern's just picking this fight mid. I'm not so sure why. GTM clearly out body counting him here. They have a 20% disadvantage overall. Their flag could be in danger pretty soon. Red Phoenix and Kappa don't even need to pay any more attention to this. You'll notice now Matt's going to come home. He's saying falling back. They really do not have any other option, as Cap could probably just take this flag alone along with Scarface. I'm not sure this guy, Matt, will even be able to get home in time. Meanwhile, looks like Mazrim is going to make a play to pressure the home flag of GTM. JTM just standing around here. You might want to come and harass these archers mid. Able to walk without any melee support. And Quicksilver harassing his opponents over here. Kappa noticing we could rush their base. Scarface saying nah. I mean, there's still 7 minutes remaining or so, we'll see what happens. Doraemon calling, hey, if you're gonna commit, if you go now, go now. Pretty wise statement by him. Not much time out to do much else. Right now, GTM does not have a contest yet, I believe. Which means this game would end in a tie. Without that contest, they should be able to secure it pretty easily with Doraemon's goal, but he might end up losing it here. Maybe Quicksilver will come in, or we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, if the game ended at this moment, because Tavern got that contest for 2 points, it would be 8-8, a tie, similar to we saw a couple times on this map already, is a tie in the first, and ending up to affect the rest of the games, put more pressure on that game to Dark Canyon Captures game. And we got a line on the map. Someone suggested they go take the northeast route. That route is covered by a dwarf. There's none on the battlements in the west. We'll have to see how Tavern makes the adjustment here, and how Glue the Moose also makes an adjustment. Well, Lucifer's gonna have some action on defense against Mazrim. Mazrim throwing a Stygian away, testing the defensive capability of this Glue the Moose force. Albeit they almost have a 30% advantage at this point. I wouldn't be throwing away units at this point. But he's taking the risk, and you'll notice GTM's kind of backing off here. We'll have to see where and how they commit. And let's toss on the auto camera for a bit. Good thing we did. Matt Calhoun taking out Quicksilver's goal pretty quickly. And I'd like to believe this automatic camera is related to the selection and movement and actions of units. We'll have to see. Like, I almost feel like someone's checking out the veterans of these archers or something. Could be possible. And Hero's gonna score a direct hit on those Tavern goals right there. JTM just throwing them away. as Glue the Moose has changed their mind. They're going to commit to the northwest part of the map. We got 320 remaining. Will they be able to push it in time? We'll have to find out. Hero looking for a bounce, not able to land it. Glue the Moose strategizing their plan of attack. There's no Tavern Dwarf in position to defend this corner. In fact, Birdie's 2 dwarves are... Alright, Birdie is in control of the northeast. This is all on Matt right here. His dwarf is out of position, unfortunately. And that's going to open the door for Glue the Moose to press the keep. I don't think Tavern has enough units on the offense to secure more than a 50% tag here. So we're not even going to pay attention to the southern part of the map. It's pretty irrelevant at this point. That offensive force did what they could do a long time ago and is also keeping quite a bit of troops at bay. Matt will take out one of Red Phoenix's archers. However, it was just a distraction as Scarface and Red Phoenix are going to get some pretty crucial artillery units through. The presence of Red Phoenix down there, he's going to lose an archer there. A nice bounce, almost taking out another. But it's, again, enough of a distraction. Cap is slipping through the backfield here. There's just not enough artillery in position for Tavern to hold this back. And presents 25% advantage to Glue the Moose here. You'll see Doraman going in for the contest. Potentially some distraction as well as GTM not even going to pay any attention to Matt's dwarf at this point. They've bypassed that. Scarface and Phoenix pushing the area. Scarface unable to take out any units, but he is dealing the damage. We'll turn on the hitboxes as Birdie loses a thrall. And all this melee for Glue the Moose is healthy. That lower ground dwarf for Birdie is going to go down. Matt is coming in to try to flank. A lot of damage being done to the thrall here for Birdie, and you now have Cap moving in. Matt, he's not dodging with his dwarf quite enough, and Scarface 2 dwarves dealing the damage. Red Phoenix coming up with the crucial kill on the dwarf, and the melee going down here for Tavern. While that last blast looked like it did take out quite a bit of Glue the Moose's units. Birdie's dwarf completely out of position to support this flag, and Scarface will lose the dwarf, but it looks like Glue the Moose will clean up the flag.
Flag captured.
And that will do it, folks. We have Glue the Moose taking the first game. Let me check out the webpage really quickly. You can check this out at macobserver.com/MWC99 or Google search Myth World Cup 1999. That's how I found it myself. It looks like the scoring of this was Glue the Moose has 40% remaining at 49. And they also captured a flag. A combination of 4 plus 15 equals 19 points for GTM. And Tavern was able to capture a flag. They have 0 remaining. They're going to net 2 points for that contest. So the first game goes to GTM. 17-point spread in their favor. Tavern, they're going to have to come back in Dark Canyon. A full win on that is 16 points. So if they come back strong, this could be a 1-point game going into game 3. We will have to see how it develops. Let's look at these in-game statistics. You'll notice a 2-to-1 ratio, 4 kills, 2 losses for GTM. Effectively the opposite for Tavern. Completely out body counted here. almost twice the damage as well. You'll notice through the graph you can't see anything for Glue the Moose because they are the black team. But if I squint really hard, I can notice that the Glue the Moose line is pretty far above. They get out to the early lead with Red Phoenix's early archer play, along with the dwarven pressure of Scarface and Kappa and his melee support. And from there, they just kind of take over. It looks the same on the kills ratio, albeit they don't have that many kills at the beginning of the game. Those archers dealing the damage early, making quick work of Tavern's mid-force. Tavern sticking around a little bit too long, asking for the fight. Down 20%, unable to do much. They get a tag off. Back to the stats, we got Kappa, the captain for GTM, ending the game 21 kills, 8 losses, 54 damage. Not too bad for the captain. He controlled that mid-melee force. Red Phoenix leading the game in damage, 133, 17 kills, 9 losses. Little note about him, he ends up winning a couple Myth World Cups down the line. Whether that is 1999 or not, you will have to stay tuned to find out. Quite a well-renowned player during the Bungie.net era and beyond. One of the best Finnish players to ever play the game. He might have even been Swedish, who really knows. I'm sure he's cussing if he ever heard or viewed this cast. But good play by him, stellar stuff. Scarface with his 2 dwarves. He's going to come up with 10 kills, 110 damage. He loses one of those dwarves in the process. Next up, Lucifer. We got 6 kills, 1 loss, and 25 damage. Hero 4-4 with 31. Doraemon 2-2 with 7, and Quicksilver with his small gold pack, losing 5 units but dealing 5 damage. Killing nothing but potentially distracting some of these Tavern players at crucial moments for the other GTM players to capitalize on. Also keeping the game scouted, which is a very important factor. I'd say that is the first crucial step in the meta of Myth 2, and playing in team games or even free-for-all games. Like, the first thing you need to understand is you need information, and this involves the line of sight. Some units being able to see farther than others. A goal is always a great unit. It's nice and quick, so it can escape from any sort of rushes. It has pretty good line of sight, and you're able to check out your opponent effectively. You could notice Glue the Moose doing this throughout the game, effectively outplaying Tavern constantly, able to outmaneuver their opponents, engage one flank at a time with the same force. Tavern not quite aware of that situation, and it cost them. Tavern, though, let's not get too down on them. They're not down and out yet. I'm sure they will stick it out. Let's go through their statistics. We have Matt Cathon, 12 kills, 13 losses, 74 damage. He will lead his team in damage as the captain. Birdie, 6 and 17 on the defense with 20 damage. Augustus, 5 and 7 and 38 with his archers. King of Malkir, 4 and 6, 40 damage. I believe he had some archer play as well. JTM with the goals, only going 1 and 6, 11 damage. And Mazrim Tame, not able to do much. He had that offensive force, but he mostly just got worked by GTM. 0 and 11 with only 10 damage, less damage than units lost. Really just getting poked around by the high ground, unfortunately. And that's about it for statistics and game 1, folks. We have GTM jumping out to the early lead, 19-2. thank you all for watching, and stay tuned to the rest of the match, and the rest. Well, this is the concluding match of the round. And I'd like to thank you all for viewing. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Shout out to Tiger of GTM. Hope I can cast your some of your play soon. And that's it, folks. Thank you. On to game 2. GG.
Team eliminated. Game over.